All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the hotel room. Hope you guys are doing good, keeping between the lines, got your load secure. Okay, man, I'm excited to chop it up with this gentleman. What's up, Mr. Garcia? Mr. Garcia, you're gonna want to stick around, man, and listen to this man's story. Um, you know what? I've been chopping up with this gentleman for a few minutes, and I'm just very excited to chop it up with up some more, man. Excuse the lighting, trying to get some better lighting in here, but oh well. And there's a cheap little plug right there for Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Go check us out. But without further ado, what's up, Heats 818 Clica? Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in my brother one, Mr. Carlos E. Zamora. Carlos.
How you doing, Thecholotrucker?
I'm good, brother. I am good, man. How about yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing good, my brother. Doing good, and hello to everybody that's gonna join the podcast, the channel. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, no, man. I'm glad we got in touch and just a little of talking with you. Man, it just got me excited, man, to peel more layers, of your life and everything. And I truly appreciate you coming on and wanting to talk and tell your story, man. And there's a lot of interesting things there, and good things too,
Yeah.
And I'm hoping we can go ahead and get into some of that stuff, and hopefully somebody that's listening can be inspired, um, motivated, or I should say disciplined, um,
Yeah.
because we're going to touch on a couple of things.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing. I know the title is a brother's testimony, and we're definitely going to get into that. But there's also something else going on. But with that, Carlos, tell us a little bit about yourself, guys, man.
Well, my name is Carlos Zamora. I'm from the high desert area. The Victor Valley is what it's called. I live in the town of Apple Valley. My family moved up here in 1978 in this area. They came from the Baldwin Park area. And with respect, I'll say from the east side of Baldwin Park, because there's two sides to Baldwin Park. And no kind of affiliation, but I just know that was where we came from off of the 10 freeway there, Fraser, Bess, and Magnum. And
Real quick, I
uh,
don't mean to interrupt you. I lived there for about 2 years.
oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
right
being
there
up
on that
here as
same
a child,
same side, on the same side.
yeah. So you know about the area.
Yeah, yeah.
So we moved up here in 1978. Been up here ever since. So I consider myself a high desert person. I consider myself more from here than from the LA area. My roots are here. Um, I have my family. I raised my family here. I have three children, um, two adults, one pre-adult. My two adults are doing very well. One's a chef, works at Joey's restaurant there in the city of LA, which I recommend people go to. It's a little pricey, but it's worth going to. My oldest daughter, she's my daughter, Stephanie. She's a coach. She works out of the city of Pasadena. And my youngest, she's a freshman in Cal State San Bernardino. Concerning me, growing up here in the high desert, uh, I am, I just want to say that I come from a family of six that I didn't get to grow up with because I was adopted out at 18 months. Um, but I have very good contact with my brothers and sisters, which I love. I was raised with one sister that's not my blood sister, but she's my sister, and that's my sister Anna. She lives in the state of Nebraska, um, and my history is as a young man growing up, went the wrong way, got into substance abuse. Um,
Carlos,
You know,
let me stop you real quick, Carlos. I don't mean to
uh-huh.
interrupt. Hey, shout outs. What's up, Tonok Buds? Mr. Garcia, no, it's not. The High Desert is actually part of the Inland Empire, different county, San Bernardino County. Um, when you said a family of six, you're talking about you had six siblings, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and
Correct.
you were the only one that was adopted at 18 months old.
Yeah, we were separated because my parents had some issues, and I was the only one that was adopted out. My family, my brothers and sisters, um, let's just say one lived with family in San Diego, um, and two pretty much lived with their mom, but basically raised in the Florence area, in Southgate area, you know.
Okay, so
And
everybody kind of went their separate ways, but you were the only one that was given up for adoption.
I was the only one given up for adoption.
Okay,
Uh, and yeah, that's how that went for me. Back
okay.
in 19, I was born in 67, and I was 18 months, so probably about 69 is when I was given up for adoption. Yeah, and that's why I'm a Zamora, but my original last name is Alcozer. I'm an Alcozer
Ah,
by birth. Yeah,
got you,
yeah.
got you. House of Beacon, I did, brother. I emailed you back, but yes, gracias, and I'll be in contact with you. Um, okay, got you. Okay, so at
Mhm.
18 months, you're adopted, but you're saying you knew this entire time. Did you know your siblings, your actual siblings?
My adopted family always talked well of my parents because I was adopted within family. So my adoptive mom was stepsister to my real mother. They were sisters by father only. So my adoptive dad has, which is the Zamora. He, no relation to anybody within the Acozer or Avila family. Um, and so they spoke very well of my mother and of my father, very well of both of them. And so growing up, I wasn't an only child. My sister Anna, which I love dearly, um, she put me under her wing. She's five years older than me, and so wherever she went, I went. So almost any place she went, I went. I don't know if I was her excuse to get out of the house or what, but I went with her. And so, how I don't know if you know how that works, but that's how it worked for me. And it was just you know, that's my
What,
niece
was it?
Angie.
Was it a little bit weird for you? I mean, most young boys kind of go under the wing of their older brother, but for your case, it was under your sister. Was it a little bit weird for you that it was your sister?
Uh it became weird after
Okay.
because my brothers were needed
Mm,
because I didn't have direction concerning how to approach a girl. I
mm,
kid you not. And
mhm,
I felt awkward going to my sister to ask for that info.
mm,
So that's where it was lacking. Like if I would have had let's say my brother that just not my oldest, but the one closest to me,
mm.
he would have been help, a lot of help for me. I would have said, "Hey, man, how do I do this? How
Yeah.
do I approach this?" I couldn't go to my sister because it just felt weird. It just felt weird. I guess you could say that, but where it did help was having a lot of respect for the opposite sex. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? A
Okay.
lot of respect for the opposite sex. So when I'm around the opposite sex, women, it's like treating my sister. You know what I'm saying? And
Got
that's
you.
how. So I don't mean to be funny, but or anything like that. So when I was growing up, became a teenager, you know, if a girl liked me,
Mhm.
everything was cool, right? But if she approached me, made the first move, Cholo Trucker, like there was an instance where a girl came onto the bus, right?
Okay.
So I'm being cordial. Hey, come and sit here. Nothing wrong, nothing of anything nefarious, nothing bad. I would just say, hey, nobody knows her. Come and sit over here. You can sit by me.
Mhm.
Well, the girl took a liking to me. We're walking around at the campus at the high school, and we end up in an area where we're by ourselves. And lo and behold, Troll the Trucker, if this girl doesn't lean over and wants to kiss me, what do I do? Instead of going with it, I
Mhm.
lean back. I lean back. Like it just happened, bro. And so that's where my brothers would have helped me, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
where my brothers would have helped me. That's one of the issues of growing up with only girls, with only
Please
girls.
tell me you leaned back and said, "What are you doing?"
No, in my mind I did that, but not with her. It was just one of those things, man. That it would have, that's where my brothers lack, bro. My brothers really,
Guys.
that's where really my brothers. And then when I would go out, like let's say, go out to a
Did,
house party, go out to a club, go out to a
uh-huh.
dance. Um, I was very careful where I put myself.
Did you have a father figure? Did you have a male role model around you at
I
all?
did, I did, but
Okay.
but uh, uh, I didn't have the guidance to, I was told this. This is how I was raised.
Mhm.
My adoptive dad told me like this: if you start a fight and you don't finish it, if you start a fight and you don't finish it, you're not gonna only get it from them, but you're gonna get it from me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if you don't start, if somebody starts it with you and you have a problem and you get in trouble, you got my support.
Okay.
So in 1973, I started a fight in Long Beach,
Ah,
and I got my butt kicked,
right.
and my dad came at me and he hit me.
So he was kind of one of these like old school, rough around the edges kind of dad. It wasn't like come here, mijo, let me talk to you about girls. Come here, mijo, let me show you this. Or and it was just kind of like strict.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no,
Okay.
about girls, there was really no direction. He tested me one time. We were parked in the parking lot up here in High Desert, over here in Hesperia. My mom went to the store, and a young lady came out the store, and he goes, "Hey, what do you think of that girl?" I looked at her, I said, "Yeah, she's pretty," but that's
Yeah.
as far as I went. I didn't say, "Oh, how good she looks," or nothing like that. But
Yeah.
that's as far as that went. I guess he was trying to see if I was into girls. Let's just put
Yeah,
it that way.
I've said this. It's not just about dad physically being there. A dad can physically be there, but not be a dad, not be there as well. I
Mm,
know a few people like this that they, go to work and come home, and that's it. That's
mm,
hey,
mhm,
I'm here. We live under the same roof, but
mhm,
I just come home and I'm watching TV, and hey, as long as I don't hear that you got into trouble or whatever, that's that, and
mhm,
mom's not saying anything that about your grades or no calls from teachers or whatever. It's like, okay, cool, and that's not
mhm.
really being involved in your kids' lives, and that makes a big difference.
They tried Trollo Trucker, but they struggled because my mom was a Depression era child, my adoptive mom, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad he grew up in Mexico City,
Okay.
so did two different environments.
Mhm.
Um, so when it came to schooling and I got bad grades, um, they would talk to me. They would say, "Hey, and since I was adopted, you know, there was me receiving money from the state because of being
Oh,
adopted.
right.
So their thing was, hey, if you don't get these grades and you don't go to college, you're not going to get this money.
Mhm.
But there was no sense. You need to get your education, like I did with my kids. I did with my kids.
Mhm.
Hey, this is you don't want to work like me. Another thing they pushed Cholo Trucker was I needed to learn how to work. If you don't know how to work, nobody's going to want you. Nobody's
Right.
going to like you. So when I got kicked out of school for having drugs on me,
Mhm.
um, I leaned on going to work. I've been working since I was a young man. I would get jobs at construction sites up here. I would
Uh-huh.
approach the construction sites, and my brother-in-law would say, "Hey, you can come and help over here." They would put me to dig a hole, and that's how I would make my
Let,
money. You know.
let's get to that. Drugs.
hmm
You got into drugs pretty deeply.
hmm
Take us through that.
All right. So I was introduced to drugs at a very young age. Okay. And when I say young man, I'm talking about 6 years old. All right. Marijuana. Started out with marijuana. Didn't start using fully until I was about 13. Okay. The area where I grew up at, I thought I was the oddball using drugs. I was hiding it from everybody.
Mhm.
And so it was marijuana, weed. And so what ended up happening was as I as time went by, started finding out that a lot of the kids that I knew were using and smoking marijuana. So house parties became a little bit more interesting,
Mhm.
and from there, up here was prevalent methamphetamine, prevalent, prevalent, and
Wow.
so I started using methamphetamine at about the age of 16, 16, and ran into other drugs. Having acquaintances down the hill, I noticed that they were more into cocaine down there. You're talking about the 80s, Cholo Trucker.
Okay.
Um, so you're talking about 85, 86, up in that area,
Okay.
that time.
Yeah,
And
at that time, I'm watching Top Gun and riding my bike, man. But you're already into the
yeah,
mix. I don't want to
yeah,
out your age, homie. But
yeah. No, well,
go,
I'm 55, bro. I'm
go for it, go
55.
for it, go for it, God,
Yeah, I'm
go
50.
for
I have no problem with. I call myself an elder now. I'm an elder, and and uh, and so Cholo Trucker, from that age and growing up where I grew up grew up at, had a lot to do with me coming to my senses. I came to my senses at about the age of 19. I started
it.
thinking of what I'm gonna do with my life.
Mhm.
Who's gonna want to marry me?
Mhm.
Um, because I did move out of my home with respect to my parents, to my adopted parents. I didn't just leave the house.
Mhm.
I explained to them, hey, I'm gonna move out. I want to thank you for everything you've done. But I think instead of her, I think I'm doing more wrong than what I'm than anything. So I'm gonna move out. So
Mhm.
I moved out at the house at the age of 17. And there's a young lady that I'm really good friends with to this day that she says, Carlos, you I really liked you because you were the only teenager that I knew that had his own apartment at the age of 17.
Mhm.
And but she didn't know what I was going through. Cholo
Right.
Trucker, because I was irresponsible with my money. Um, it was times I was going hungry, or I had to figure out how to steal from the store because
Mhm.
I was spending my money improperly. I was working,
Mhm.
but I was doing things wrong. And if it wasn't from one friend, at least bringing me a taco from his house, I would be starving. So I was irresponsible. Yeah, I was responsible. I had my own apartment, which I fell behind 6 months. And
Oh
the man
man,
and the owner,
that's a
the
long
owner of
time
the
for them
apartment.
not to evict you, man.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
up, Vic
check
Med?
this out.
And ain't no thing but a chicken wing, and you and Vic Med, what's going on? Man, that's a long time. 6 months for them not to evict
Yeah, bro. And check this out, bro. I was only paying 125 a month back in that year of
you. Well, yeah,
85.
back in those days, man, you got a little bit more
And
bang for the buck.
the owner comes up, and I faced him, and he says, "Hey, you're behind 6 months. What's going on?" I said, "Look, if you give me a chance, I'll pay you 125 every week. Every week." His name was Mr. Beeman. And lo and behold, that brother, I know he's a brother. He was from the Assembly of God, but I didn't know that at that time.
Mhm.
Uh, he he gave me the chance, and every week, man, I paid him 125 until I caught up,
Mm.
and that's how I was able to stay in that apartment. But I was responsible, but irresponsible at the same time. And later on in life, I was working. I was a plaster by trade, and that's every Wednesday, Friday, hanging out or behind the local vans with the coworkers, buying cases of beer.
Mm.
Uh, I'm hanging out with a friend, not paying my insurance, getting pulled over for suspended license a few times. The
Mm.
cops were nice enough to say, if you have somebody to drive the car, we'll let you go home. Called a friend, comes and
Yeah.
drives the car. I go home. But the last time, sign right here, as I'm signing, I feel a hand behind my back. They arrested me. And I didn't think I would go to county jail. I went to county jail down here at West Valley. I didn't think I would stay in as long as I did. But here's the thing. I was always responsible at my work, Thecholotrucker.
Mm.
My boss bailed me out. When I called from the jail, said I can't go to work. He goes, why not? I go, I'm in jail. You're in jail. But I didn't know my parents had already gone with him.
Okay.
And he started laughing.
Yeah.
And that gentleman bailed me out, bro. And
Wow.
so he bails me out. I was in there, it seemed like an eternity, but I was only in there for 3 weeks at the most.
Mhm.
And in there, somebody shared the gospel with me. I thought I was gonna be in big trouble with my parents. Instead of them receiving me, giving me heck, my mom received me with my favorite plate, fried chicken, uh, cinnamon rolls, freshly baked.
Mm.
Bro, I felt ashamed, man. I felt ashamed. That time I was buying a fifth wheel from my sister. I went back in to my fifth wheel, looked at myself in the mirror, and said, I got to change, man. And that's when I cried out to God. I said, God, I need to change. And I said to him, I don't know how to pray or anything. And I said to him, God, you change me because I can't change myself. You know me better than I know myself.
Mhm.
And I needed money. I'm working with the plastering company, and two paisas needed a place to live. So I charged them rent. What's the chance, brother, that they're Christian brothers? And they
Wow.
started inviting me to church.
What
And I
what what,
went,
what made you
I went,
What made you call it God? Was your family religious?
No, they weren't religious. As a matter of fact, that's another story in itself. They were Catholic, bro. They were Catholic. I was raised Catholic.
No.
Um, um, what happened, Cholo Trucker, was shame.
Okay.
Shame, complete shame. How could my mom receive me with my favorite plate? Her fried chicken was the bomb, bro.
Fried chicken and cinnamon rolls, man. You can't
Yeah,
go wrong
cinnamon
with that.
rolls,
Yeah.
man. I mean, come on, bro. How do you think I felt like? Man, I felt the shame. I felt shame.
Okay.
And that's what I said. I need to change. I need to change.
Mm.
And that's how it happened. Those two brothers come and live with me. They invite me to church. I go reluctantly. I even threatened them. I said, if anybody looks me wrong at me in your church, I'm out of that place.
Mm.
I go in, nothing but viejitos,
Mm.
pastors about in his 40s. Um, I sat in front, my pants todos rotos. I'm all dirty. They wanted me to shower. I told them I'm not going to shower. I'm going to go to church just as I am. If that church is full of love, bro, they're going to receive me just as I am. I wanted to make it as bad as I could for them. I walk in, brother, and nobody looked at me. I don't know if it's I scared them. I'm all with plaster in my hair and all that kind of good stuff. And nobody looked wrong at me, Trucker. And that's where I've been ever since. And and let me tell you, brother, uh, that's where I became an ordained minister. And today I am opening up a church here in the town of Apple Valley. My wife and I, with my oldest daughter, my youngest, and my youngest, and we've been here since 2012. Um,
Nice.
for the glory of God, because He changed me. He changed me, bro.
Wow, man. That, and to become a pastor. I mean, that's usually. Well, I don't know. Usually, I guess I'll just speak for myself. I don't know if this was just my way of thinking, but I always just kind of thought that pastors somewhat always had it together. I never, once I started hearing all these stories of pastors and stuff, I'm like, dang, man, some of these dudes had it really, really rough. Um, when I was a little kid and I saw pastors and everything, I just kind of always thought like, man, they were always into God. Like they always had it good. They always had lived a good life. It wasn't until later on in life where it's like you start, hearing these stories of pastors, where it's like, man, you know what? These dudes, some of them have been through the ringer, man.
Yeah,
So you've
yeah.
been a pastor for, what'd you say, 12 years now?
No, since 2012, so it's been about
Okay.
10 years. I've been a church planner, opening up a small mission church here in Apple Valley. It's actually at my house, and and um, and that's what we've been doing since August of 2012. It was inaugurated, and that's where we've been since. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what, man? I've met some great, great pastors. I really have. I know sometimes, especially for people that don't believe or whatever it may be, some people just have this kind of thought of pastors where it's like, man, those, I want to hang out with a pastor. They're boring, and all they're gonna do is talk about God, and it's just boring and stuff. Honestly, I've hung out with a few pastors, and I'm like, man, some of the coolest people to talk to. As a matter of fact, and they'll be there for you. At least I can't speak for all pastors, but you know, uh, somebody in Arizona. I don't want to put it all out there. He's here in the chat, but I linked them up with a pastor that's out there, man, and that pastor helped them out, and that just felt good. It just felt like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm glad that he was there,
Yeah.
to have for
Especially my pastor, Cholo Trucker. You asked about my parents if they were religious. Well, they got mad at me because I changed to Protestant. And
Oh,
my dad gave me an ultimatum, and he says, "Hey, uh, you either stop going to that church, or you can't live here." So I said to him, "Dad, I don't know, I don't know how to put this, but I've changed.
mhm,
Where I go, where I go to church at, it's changed me." And I said, "If that's how it is, I gotta leave." And at that time, that's where I met my wife at.
mhm.
Um, I had to call her, you know, we weren't married, and I said, "Hey, I don't have a place to live. My parents got mad. They kicked me out of the house." And they said, "Why?" I said, "Well, because I'm going to the church." So she called the pastor up,
Mm,
and I'm withdrawing from drug use, Thecholotrucker.
okay.
But he don't know that. The pastor don't know that.
Okay.
I'm not baptized at this time. I'm not I'm not baptized at this time. And lo and behold, if this man, that God have him in glory because he passed away,
Mhm,
um, Juan Soriano, brought me into his house, bro.
mhm.
So how can I not be grateful for what God and the church has done for me?
Yeah, and
That's
I
straight
mean,
fact.
yeah, and listen, I don't know about all guys, man, but telling a girl that you don't have a place to stay, that's a rough one, man. And that's not a good I know you already knew her. I was gonna say that's not a good pickup line, but that's
Yeah,
pretty rough. Letting the girl know, like, hey, I know you and I we're talking and we're chopping it up now, but
yeah,
I'm a little homeless. That's
yeah, 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 yeah,
a rough one. Let me
yeah.
give a quick roll call to everybody. What's up, Andres? Truth Real Talk, Vanessa, Candy. What's up, OG Gordo? God bless, brother. My sister Jen Magana is in here. Tacos and workouts. What's going on, man? Bugsy Raider. Shout outs to everybody. So yeah, that's gotta
I
be
could
rough.
say hello to my nieces. My nieces are
Yeah,
on
yeah,
here.
please do.
Candy, Angie, I love you guys very much, and I hope your brothers are there too. I love them very much. Appreciate you guys joining me here. Love you guys.
So Carlos, let's get to what you and I were talking about um, beforehand. Um, you told us about your life, being adopted, not being raised. Well, real quick. So, are you good with your siblings today? And your
Oh, I'm real good with my brothers and
okay,
sisters. I'm real good with my brothers and sisters. And I want you to also keep in your hearts. I have one brother that's serving time. He's doing all day in the state of Arizona.
mm,
Um, he just got off of uh, what do you call it? Loss of privileges, so he's able to call me now. And I wish you guys to keep my brother Joey Kozer in your thoughts and in your prayers, um, because I didn't get to grow up with him. And when we get on the phone, I'm the youngest of the six, so
mm.
I'm really good at my job. And one day he didn't call me; he called his older sister, and I called him a mama's boy. I said, "So it is true. You're a mama's boy. You chose your sister over me," and I think I caught him off guard. So, but and so I do my younger brother job. I think I'm really good at it.
There you go. There you go, man. Yeah, you know what? Hey, hey, one for the little brothers, right? I'm the youngest brother too, man. The
Oh,
older brothers, they always get to bully us. They always get to push us around when we're kids. Hey, man, one for the younger brother. Stick it to the older
really younger
brother every
brother.
now
Yeah, I
and
had to give it to him.
then. Oh, that's right, man. Hey, so
Yeah.
uh, Carlos, so you told us a
Yeah.
lot about you already, man. You and I talked beforehand, and let's get to that subject. We're talking about health, your health. And I've seen it as a problem, especially just with raza. I mean, with everybody, but a lot with with the gente, man. So can you talk to us just a little bit about what you're going through?
Yeah. I let myself go, body wise, weight wise. Um, I had tried previously to drop weight, and I did get to a very good weight, but I had busted my right shoulder on a hiking trip with my family in the Yosemite,
Mhm.
and needed operation. I didn't know what to do, so to recovery, I had to sit in the couch, and I went back to my old habits of eating eating wrong, and from that point, I would try to sustain a certain weight, but it just wasn't working. I'm a driver just like you, Trucker, but I drive locally for the local disposal company. And sitting down all day and eating wrong,
Mhm.
in the year 2021, I got my weight up all the way to 272. And it was real bad. So when I went to go take my physical, my personal physical before my yearly physical,
No.
uh, the doctor looked at me. He said, "What happened to you? Just 2 years ago, you had perfect cholesterol, perfect blood sugar. You're overweight. Your sugar level right now, this is in 2021, is at 6.2. You're at borderline pre-diabetic." And Cholo Trucker, at that time, I knew I was wrong. I'm gonna get myself in shape because I gotta get ready for my physical, for my driver's license. And I
Right.
was concerned,
Mhm.
and so I paid a pretty penny for a program. Um, uh, Prior to going to the physical and coming out of the doctor, I'm not kidding you, Cholo Trucker. That's when you touched on the topic of about obesity in our raza, and I listened to you, and you motivated me. And I was in that program, 5 month program. That program finished. I couldn't rejoin it because it cost a pretty pretty penny, and so I had to figure something out. And I want to give a shout out to that trainer. His name is Joe Flores. It was
Right.
prior called Lead the Way. Forgot the name of the name now, but he worked with me. He helped me. It was a group session. Alex, a trainer lady that was there, they were helping me. So in those 5 months, I dropped to 248. But
From
after that,
272.
from 272 to 248.
Okay.
And so that was in May. So coming to June, I needed to do something. A couple years prior, I was with a lady. Her name is Nikki. Her program is called NV Bodies. She had helped me before. So I went to her and I said to her, "I need help, but I need help with nutrition.
Mm.
I need help with nutrition because I'm going to be operating because now I busted my left shoulder at work. So now I have this issue and I want to get ready. If I'm going to be operated on, I want to be a good weight." So I signed up with her, and this is in about June. So I'm weighing 248. So from June to here,
Mm-hmm.
uh, today, when she first took my measurements, 248. 4 weeks after, take my second measurements, I'm 237. Lost 10 pounds worth of body fat. Today, Cholo Trucker, I weigh 230 pounds.
Wow. And this is this year, correct? You're talking about this year.
This year, from that video that you talked about
Mm-hmm.
in January, February, somewhere around, had to be February because I'm already signed up.
Mm-hmm.
From that point this way, um, I've lost over 40 pounds. I'm at about 42, 44 pounds. My my stomach was 52 inches, measuring from the belly button up around to the
Uh-huh.
belly button. I was 52 inches on the stomach. My second measurement, 44 inches.
Okay.
So 52 inches down to 44 inches in a matter of 4 weeks. In a
That's
matter of 4 weeks. So I did my research, Cholo Trucker, prior to all this. Weight loss depends 90% nutrition,
yes. Yes.
10% exercise. But
Yes.
that 10% has to be given a completely 120 or more percent. I
Yeah.
wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to pack my lunch my wife has pre-made and be here. I can't do anything with my shoulder, so all I'm stuck to is squats, side lunges, and walking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't run because of my knees. I don't run because of my knees, um, because of the weight,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the shoulder. So I walk. I walk every day at least about 4 miles. So this is
Wow.
how it works, Trucker. Right now, I can eat about 2,000 calories. Okay.
Okay.
But if I walk 13,000 steps, it adds up to about 3,000 calories burnt.
Mm.
So you take those 3,000 calories plus your intake, there's a deficit of 1,000 calories that I have burnt off from the 2,000 calories that I ate. So I'm learning this on my own, plus with help from the nutritionist. She's actually a professional trainer for bodybuilders,
Okay.
um, and and I went to different people to speak, but some of them are pretty expensive. But they're good. They're good at what they do.
Hey,
Um,
hey,
and no,
Carlos.
yeah.
Carlos, since you're training with somebody who trains bodybuilders, are we gonna see you in a bodybuilder competition this time next year or something, Holmes?
No, no, no. I'm doing it for my health, and
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
tell you, my wife loves it, bro. She loves it.
Yeah.
She sees me eating wrong.
Mm.
No quiero que estés gordo de vuelta, me dice. I don't want you to get fat again. She loves it, bro, and I love it. My clothes, brother, fit so nicely. Yesterday, I put on a suit, um, and before I couldn't button it, brother, it buttons and it looks nice. It looks sharp, bro.
Man, I love hearing gente taking their health serious because nobody ever took it serious. At least nobody that I was ever around, man. Family,
Mhm.
friends, anything, man. Nobody took it serious. I didn't take it serious either. I was just always kind of athletic. I just never really did anything with it. I kind of, I don't want to say have regrets, but I kind of look back in life and say, like, dang, I could have done something, but oh
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
man. But
yeah.
I just, just like I was telling you before we came on, all my tias, they're all overweight. They all started getting diabetes at late 30s, early 40s. And I'm sure everybody in the chat or everybody that watches this afterwards, I'm sure you guys know so many people like that. Maybe you're one of them, and I mean, no disrespect, but it's something that we really, really got to start shining a light on because you know, there's so many people that say like, "Hey, man, you know what? This gente, that gente, they're doing this, they're doing that, and we're over here doing this or falling behind, and we need to be represented over here, this or that, whatever." One thing that we have really fallen behind in is health,
It's health.
self health. You
Yeah.
know, taking care of our bodies, taking
Hmm.
care of ourselves, right?
Hmm.
I and I'm sure so many people know this that growing up, it was a badge of honor, man, to take down. If you could take down more beers on a night, more than anybody else, like that was something to brag about.
Right.
Now, I tell people like, hey, you're bragging about destroying your body, right? If you want to go ahead and have a drink or two, vale a toda madre, homie, that's fine. But
Mhm.
I don't know why it's still such a badge of honor to get completely plastered, man, and that you could, oh man, I'm able to take down a 30 pack, homie. Fuck, do you know what you're talking about? Do you know what you're proud about? You're proud about completely destroying your organs, man.
Right.
What's so proud? Drink a beer, drink two beers, drink. That's fine, man. Hey, everybody do it responsibly, but
Right.
all this, and I've said it before too. I like all the same food everybody else does. Okay, I like all that great stuff, but we gotta watch it. We gotta
Right.
watch it, and we gotta start pointing out health more to the gente. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to talk about, oh man, we're behind in all this. Hey man, I don't know this to be fact. I'm just going off the eyeballs. I got no statistics to back this up. But from the eyeball test, from where I'm standing, the number one thing we're behind in is health.
Yeah. It's my I believe what it is that we think we can catch up. We can
Okay.
catch up. I can stop. Like my issue was energy drinks.
Mm.
All
Hey,
right. Okay.
when those suckers came in, whoo,
They
yeah.
kill you, man.
Oh
And
man.
I thought I was drinking the healthy ones. I was drinking. Uh, they weren't healthy, bro. I don't know if I could say the name or not, but they
Yeah.
weren't healthy. And and I told the doctor, I said, "Well, I'm drinking these ones." Oh, he goes, "Those are full of sugar, man. Those are full of sugar. Sugar is what's killing you." Let me tell you something. My wife was putting me a lot of fruit. Well, the nutritionist Nikki, the trainer, her name is Nikki Vinaj. Um, she took away fruit. I
Mhm.
can't eat fruit because of the sugar.
Okay.
And I love fruit, bro.
Mhm.
I love fruit. She goes, you can have an apple, but you got to take away the fruit because the sugar,
Mhm.
right? And so I eat fruit, but not as much anymore. So now she says you can eat as many vegetables as you want,
Mhm.
as many vegetables as you want. She put me on egg whites. So all I eat is egg whites.
Okay.
Why the egg whites? Because the egg in itself has a lot of cholesterol. So
Mhm.
those are things that I'm practicing. Since I've lost this weight, I've been getting a lot hungrier. So when I tell her that, she tells me how to approach my meals. Like for example, in the at night, I can have some chicken. So my diet has been a lot of chicken, fish, and some meat.
Mhm.
Ribeye. When I do eat bad, like let's say um, one day my wife and I were down the hill. We call it down the hill because we're 4,000 feet up, Cholo Trucker.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why we
Yeah. The
call
high
it down the
desert.
hill.
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So when we go down there, we didn't eat lunch, so we went to In and Out.
Hmm.
I had um, I had a double animal, but I checked on my phone. How many calories does a double animal have? It has 690 calories. And I had a shake. How much does a chocolate shake have? The small ones? 590 calories. But where's the fat? 18 grams of fat. Is it good fat? It's not. So that adds up. I had a total of 1,200 calories just in that right there.
Right. Yeah.
So when I got home, I didn't eat dinner
Yeah.
because of
Yes.
that meal.
Right.
So you can
Yes.
eat,
Yeah.
you can eat, but you got to understand what kind of fat are you putting into that meal. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so I've learned this on my own, Trotter Trucker. I am no expert by no means, and I want to put that disclaimer out there. I am not a, but I've been learning all this on my own. So if you walk 13,000 steps, I have an app. It adds up to over 3,000 calories burned. Plus what you eat, you minus that, and you're at a deficit of 900 or 1,000 calories.
Yeah. Jenny right here says we as Santa need to adopt healthier eating habits. Everything in moderation. Yeah, everything in moderation. Just just like alcohol, moderation. I'm not going to be a prude and tell somebody don't drink at all. I mean, hey, man, that's, yeah, for those that don't drink, don't drink. That's good. It doesn't do anything good for you, but
Yeah,
um, you want to enjoy some of those bad foods. Heck, I enjoy some of those bad foods. How can you
yeah,
not? That stuff tastes great, but
right.
moderation. Don't make
Moderation.
that your breakfast, lunch, and dinner every
Right.
day. That is tearing you apart. And I want to throw something else in there. Okay, the working out, that's good, that's great, but I want everybody to understand something. You can work off calories, but you cannot work off cholesterol.
Correct.
Cholesterol, you do not work it off. So your cholesterol level, your cholesterol levels can rise, and you can be like, wait a second, well, why is it rising? I'm able to run, sprints and everything. You cannot burn off cholesterol by working out. That comes through nutrition. My cholesterol levels just recently went up and they're pretty high. So I
Right.
definitely had to insert more broccoli,
Correct.
cauliflower into my meals. I had to cut off I look, and people think I'm some sort of health nut or something. And I mean, I do okay. I do all right,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm not like
yeah.
some super duper healthy freak or anything like that.
Right.
And when they told me, hey man, your cholesterol levels are pretty damn high, man, and just start
Right.
clogging up your arteries. Hey, hey Holmes, I had to make the adjustments, and now
Right.
my meals are adjusted to that.
You're right.
And
And there's a lot of protein in vegetables, Shoulder Trucker.
mhm,
A
mhm,
lot of proteins. That's why she said I can eat as many vegetables as I want. So I eat a lot of carrots. I eat a lot of vegetables of different kind. I try to get my wife to put me in frozen vegetables, but she doesn't want to. She wants
mhm,
everything fresh. So so she puts in cauliflower, carrots,
yeah,
some fruit, jicama, a lot of jicama.
mhm,
Uh, so uh, that's what's helped my body composition. I do take supplements, but I don't depend on them. I depend on the nutrition and um, the exercise is what I do. You know,
yeah,
so
and
and so I do have my weight that I wish to get to is 175, 180, 175. So I have a journey still to make about, I think I counted 54 pounds and 49 for the other. So somewhere around there, I still have to lose quite a bit. And if I stick to it, if I may say, there's people on here that have tried and tried, keep on trying. Don't give up. Don't stop. Try to become disciplined. Be motivated. You can accomplish this. I'm not a professional, but I know by my inertia, I've been able to accomplish this weight of 230 in a matter of 5 to 6 months because I've stuck and I've been disciplined. And that's been a factor, Thecholotrucker. It's been a factor. So don't give up. You tried once, it didn't work. Go back, do it again. Talk to a trainer, see what you can afford. Like I did, that's what I did. NV Bodies has helped me a lot, man, and my wife has helped me a
So
lot.
I'm doing the math. You're 272. So you've lost, what is that, 42 pounds, correct?
Yeah, 42 pounds.
42 pounds. And you said you lost an amount of 10 pounds of bad fat in a matter of how long?
Well, June, I believe I started with her.
Okay.
And then 4 weeks after that, actually, yeah, my fifth week, I went and got measured because it was a full 4 weeks in a matter of 4 weeks. She was amazed.
Yeah,
Nikki was amazed.
man, I want everybody to kind of think about that. Okay. Like 10 pounds, yes, you can pick it up. I mean, if you can't, hey, you got to work on your upper body, Holmes, if you can't pick up 10 pounds. But I want somebody to pick up 10 pounds and just think of that as pure fat on your body.
Mhm.
Just pick up 10-pound weight or something that weighs 10 pounds and just see how heavy that feels. Now, just
Mhm.
imagine that just being pure lard fat that's in your body, that's
Mhm.
slowing you down even more.
Yeah, yeah. She, so I lost 10 pounds body fat, right? Uh, 1% muscle. And
Mhm.
she was just surprised. And that would be the next phase of my life to gain strength
Mhm.
back. But one thing at a time. I know because of my left shoulder, I can't do any weights. I could do it on this hand, but the thing is, I want to be balanced. But my whole thing is, it can be done. I listen to a lot of motivational videos,
Mhm.
a lot. When I go walking, when I'm working out, a lot of motivational videos. Motivosity. You can get it on YouTube. Now, here's another thing, Thecholotrucker. I can't go to a trainer, right? I
Mhm.
can't lift up weights. YouTube. You can do. You can find workout programs. YouTube. Body weight, weightlifting. You pay a subscription of $13 for premium YouTube, right? You're paying $13 a month for a good workout program.
Mhm.
It can be done, man. These are tools that I use.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are tools that I use. There's stretching, there's body weight, and there's um, weights in these programs. And you can get them for $13 premium subscription YouTube.
Yeah.
Those are the tools I got to use right now.
And I'm also gonna plug. I got an old buddy of mine. I've known him since I was about like 16 years old. He's on YouTube. His YouTube channel is called Guerrero Fitness Lifestyle. His
Yeah,
name,
that's a guy I listen to. Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
know who he is.
yeah, Yo
Yeah,
Fun. Yeah, that's
yeah.
an old homeboy of mine.
Very good guy. Very good
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Very good guy.
I his He's a little bit older than I am, but no, man, I know him. I know him well. We haven't talked in a few years, not because oh man, there was something wrong that happened. No, no, no.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
just kind of he was doing his family thing, and
yeah,
I was kind of doing my thing and stuff like
yeah.
that. And we just have, but I'll probably get in contact with him pretty soon. We don't live far from each other, but I know his
Yeah,
family.
that dude's pretty. That guy's righteous, and
Mhm.
uh, you gotta do your research. Talk to him, and you got to do your research. And I want to say hi to uh, she's on here. Let me see where she's at. Tammy Martinez. She's a
Mhm.
coworker of mine, and she knows who I am. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that, and I hope this motivates you because I know you've been working. Um, I see you, so I hope the best for everybody on here. It can be done though. I'm telling you, it just so a lot of motivational. I was listening to we're Dodger fans, right? Cholo Trucker. We're
Yes,
Dodger
yes.
fans. I got to hear Mookie Betts on an
Okay.
interview. He was mic'd up,
Mm,
and they asked him what kind of things does he listen to. He says he listens to motivational videos.
mm,
So you're talking about a high professional performer,
mhm.
athlete. Those videos help him. Probably not the same as mine, but they motivate and they help you. They talk sense and they get you going. They get you to the grind. You know,
I
um,
I
Coach Payne.
completely.
Coach Payne is one that I listen to. Coach Payne. He just popped up right now. Coach Payne is a great motivational. He might be one of those people might make fun of those guys, but let me tell you, they talk a lot of sense. Talk a lot of sense.
Yeah, and not just that, man. I kind of people tell me what they listen to, and I'm like, hey, man, you know what? To each your own. Do whatever it is that you want to listen to. It's your life, man. But you're it's kind of a waste of time, man. It's not helping your life at all. You can be listening to some other stuff that's really gonna get you going, man, and really
Get you
get
going.
you out there and do something good with yourself. And not only that, I want to say this too before we end it. I want to say this too. Listen to everybody out there listening to this, watching this, whether it's live, whether it's later, whatever it is. Shout outs to my boy Incredible Javier. Um, he's doing his thing, and we're definitely gonna get
Yeah.
more into that. You guys go check out the last video that he dropped. He's got to do his thing. I talked to him on a personal level on the phone earlier today, but I want to say this. Listen, everybody, okay? Everybody wants to talk about, like, oh man, the youngsters, man. How can we get to these youngsters, and how can we school the youngsters and talk to the youngsters and everything? And the youngsters are looking at us and listen, okay? If you're living a very unhealthy life, okay, we can talk about so many things, but let's just talk about weight. Just weight and your unhealthy eating habits and non-exercising. The youngsters are looking at you. They're watching you. So when you say, like, hey man, the youngsters are looking at me, the youngsters are looking at us, man, to be better role models. Yes, if you're extremely overweight, they're looking at that too. If they see you with some very bad eating habits, they see that too. So, you know, work on yourself. It doesn't matter how old you are. Get yourself going.
Right.
Do not wait. Stop with this whole, oh, well, you know what? I can't wait for the year to end, homie, so I can get going.
Right.
Ah, Charlotte, you know what? Javier didn't do that. He didn't say, like,
Right.
oh, you know what? Next year I'm gonna get it going. No, that's not what he did. He said, you know what? There's
Right.
an issue. I got to get to it. Let's go. Now's the day. So for everybody listening, now's the time. Right now,
Now's
not
the time.
tomorrow, not next year, or when the new year kicks in. Not Charlotte.
Right.
Now. Now is the problem. The problem is right now, isn't it? So right now is the time to do it.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
get to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a Woodstock baby. You didn't want me to share my age, but I'm a Woodstock baby. 67, brother. And let me tell you, age is not a factor. You have to get your body moving, movement, walking. Uh, you know, it just be motivated to get up in the morning. Let's get it done, people, because we can get healthy. Saludos to Incredible Javier. I saw your video, brother, and I'm with you. And my sparring invitation for you still there for you, brother Javier. And, I know that we're gonna just do it for fun, not to hurt each other.
It starts as fun. It starts as just for
It
fun.
starts as fun and then it gets serious. I love brother Javier. I love Incredible Javier. I love him. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I wish
No,
the
really,
best for him
really,
in his
yeah,
journey. And I'm right there with him. I'm right
yeah.
there with him. He can do it. He can do it.
Really good dude right there, and I'm very proud of
Yeah.
him, man. And just like I
Yeah.
said about him, I'm saying it to everybody. He's not waiting for the end of the year to start the beginning of the year. No, the problem is now. So
Mhm.
now start solving the problem. Do not wait for the end of the year, for the new year to start. No, the problem is now. Start solving it now. Now
Correct.
is the time. So
Correct.
and because you know what, you're gonna get old very fast. Carlos, you and I were talking about it, man. It's like people turn 50 years old and they can't walk. They're moving around like if they're 80 years old. And it's like
Right.
we don't gotta be like that.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's we don't have to live like that, man.
Right. Right.
We can be active. We can move around. We can
Right.
take our grandkids to that amusement park, and not having to walk with a cane at 55 years
Right.
old, and
Exactly.
popping pills all the time and being
Correct.
bedridden. It's like you're in your 50s, Holmes. You don't gotta be living like that. Change it
Exactly.
now. Make the
Change.
adaptations. Change it now, Holmes, and
Right.
enjoy your grandkids. Be able to pick them up and come on, let's go over here, taking you to the carnival and everything. And I can move, I can walk, I can do things, on my own. So, man, let's change it up.
Speak it, Cholo Trucker. You're right, man.
Hey,
You're
hey,
right
man.
on. Yeah.
Gente, let's change it up. Let's enjoy life, yes, but everything moderation, and the time is now. The
Moderation.
time is now.
Right.
So,
Right.
Carlos, carnal, before we wrap it up, any last words, brother? Any last final words you want to go ahead and tell everybody?
Yeah. I just wish everybody the best, and thank you for joining and being here with me, my family. Uh, but I do wish to motivate everybody that they take the time to start. Just start. It's well worth it. And I pray the best for you, and I give you guys all my blessings. You once you start and you get going, you'll feel odd if you don't start your day out
Mm,
with the exercise. It feels strange when I don't do my exercise, man.
yeah,
It
yeah,
really does.
yeah.
And so I'm just wish the best for everybody on here. God bless. I thank you, Cholo Trucker, for having me. I never expected this. I just wanted to share what your videos do. That's why I emailed you. And when you came back at me, it was like, it would be a pleasure, man. And I hope everybody's motivated by this. You know.
Nah, Carlos, man, the pleasure's all mine, man. Gracias for coming on here and sharing your testimony, your health, and I always the pleasure's always mine for people that come and open up their lives and what they've been through, man. So the pleasure's definitely mine, brother. But with
Thank
that,
you.
we are going to end it. Shout outs to everybody who joined us tonight, and or whoever watches this later. As always, familia, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings and always keep a safe distance. Blood makes you live, but loyalty makes you family. Until next time, this is Ed the Total Trucker. For my brother right here, one Mr. Carlos Zamora. Over and out.
Amen.